Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. I got a new project today. I found some fancy wheels for my Mini Cooper on Craigslist. They are pretty scratched up though, so we are going through the process of sanding them down and getting the surface of the metal kind of smooth. I mean, they're not going to be perfect. I don't have a show car here, so I'm not super concerned, but they're a whole lot better looking than the stock ones that come on it, and I think we can make them look pretty. So let's go through the process of what we're doing here. These are NK EDR9 wheels. They're 16-inch wheels with a, I think, 4x100 offset or a bolt pattern. So you can see I've already kind of sanded these down. They curved it here and chewed up the edges a little bit. Same thing here. And this is one of the better looking ones. This is the only wheel in the whole set that's clean without any scratches, but there's quite a bit of hazing in the paint itself. All I've done with this one is wipe it down, but you can see that the brake dust has sat in here for a long time and kind of corroded into the paint. I'm painting the other ones because of the scratches, so we're going to go ahead and paint this one too. Unfortunately, I forgot to make a video when I first got them as to what they looked like and how chewed up they were. The worst one, it was up into the spokes, about halfway up the spokes, and scraped up the NK logo that's built into the spoke. So I've already sanded this down, and I even started to paint that one. I was just too excited, I couldn't wait. So we can see here, I've already started sanding this one, but there's two nice grooves in there. I've got most of this one sanded out, and this edge, I mean, it's going to be a little bumpy, so it won't be perfect like new. Now, I could go in here and put some filler and kind of sculpt this a little bit, but I'm not that worried about it. No one's going to be looking at my wheels that close. I took a 320 grit and kind of scuffed up the paint all the way around. I popped out the center caps and then just made sure all my edges were smooth. Tape it off. I'm not too worried about these tires. They're pretty well balled. They came with it, and they're winter tires, but I'll run the rest of the tread off of them. Maybe doing some burnouts or something. So once we get it all cleaned up, you want to make sure all the grease and dust and oil is removed. I've cleaned it off. I started cleaning with some Simple Green. I got some of this Diablo wheel cleaner to try to get that brake dust out of there. It didn't get it out. It's etched in there so bad, but I'll definitely use this on these wheels in my truck. And then I just got a water bottle here to kind of rinse them off since it's cold and my water hose is busted. And then I'm just using an air hose to kind of get the last of the dust and get it prepped for the first coat of primer. So I'm just using this sandable primer here from Uphold. I got this from AutoZone, and then we're going to do a VHT black wheel paint with a VHT clear gloss on top. And then they had this little handle thing on AutoZone, so I bought that. It makes it a lot easier to get this on here. All right, so I'm going to take my spray here. I'm going to shake this can for about 2 minutes, which I've already done, to make sure everything's blended up real good. And then we're just going to spray back and forth with light spray, stopping at each end and trying to cover all of the surface on the wheel. I am wearing a N95 mask because this stuff is pretty potent, and once I get a coat on here, I'll probably open the garage door and get some fresh air. It's kind of hard to get into all the nooks and crannies with wheels, but you just do the best that you can. And don't get too close. I just got too close right there and got a little bit thick on that bubble. We're supposed to let the coat of primer dry for about 5 to 10 minutes, so this wheel is pretty much ready to go back on the table for a second coat of primer. Once you've completed your 2 coats of primer, you're going to go back over the primer with a 320 grit sandpaper and just gently and lightly sand it down a little bit, and then you will start to apply your wheel paint. So for the wheel paint, again, you'll shake your can for a minute, and then you will do 3 coats, 2 light coats and 1 medium coat according to the can. And again, you just spray back and forth, trying to cover all the places in the gaps and everything in the wheel. This isn't the easiest thing to do, so you just got to take your time. What you don't want to do is overspray and have it start to run. I got a few places where I oversprayed a little bit, so you have to be careful for that. Once you're done with your 3 coats, and you need to allow about 10 minutes of dry time between each coat. If it dries for over an hour, you have to wait until the paint is cured to add another layer, which is like a 7-day cure time. So make sure that you're doing it within an hour. And then I added 3 coats of a gloss clear coat, which is the same procedure. Apply lightly for 2 coats and then a medium coat, and then you have to do it with after 10 minutes, but within an hour, and then you'll be finished. And just like that, you go from boring wheels to busted wheels to banging wheels.